325 Q&A. 325 Management requires carriers to return to the route to deliver express mail that has arrived. Is this considered a second trip? A. Yes. The deviation entries are only used when you deviate on the route to deliver express mail. Back to top. 326 Does management have the ability to change any scan, for example saying that is not an unscanned parcel? A. No. Local management can only change timekeeping scans that do not match the entries the carrier made on the 4240. Back to top. 327 An RCA does a regular route and an AUX route. Does he do the required scans on separate MDDs? He cases both, pulls both, then starts delivery on full route. Switches to delivery on the AUX route. When finished, he returns to the full route to finish that delivery. The carriers and management want to be sure the AUX route is receiving the proper credits. First, we should be avoiding this instance as much as possible. If the carrier can keep it straight, they can use the same scanner and log back and forth onto the appropriate route. However, if this is too difficult, a second scanner could be used. Back to top. 328 How should closed business mail be scanned? Managers want carriers to take parcels out to scan at the point of delivery and scan hold. The proper scan is attempted - no access or business closed. If the business is closed and has requested no delivery on that day, there is no reason to take the parcel out for delivery. Back to top. 329 With mileage being measured by the mapping, how will we handle disputes over that measurement? The mapping data will be used to determine the evaluated time allowed for driving. The engineering panel determined that the GPS was accurate for the purpose of determining interval lengths, which are the only factor in determining drive time under RRECS. For those routes using a personal vehicle, the official mileage for EMA purposes still comes from the 4003 and is still measured with a vehicle with a calibrated odometer. If the carrier feels there is a discrepancy on the miles paid for EMA, they may request a remeasurement, as always. Back to top. 330 Is management required to show the carrier the worksheet with the dismounts and distance used in the RRECS mapping? A. Yes, that is part of certifying the route. Back to top. 331 When our REC evaluations go live, can we add authorized dismount and office walk distance worksheets to the carrier's route book? Yes, we will work on that. Back to top. 332 When a carrier delivers to a CBU, will the distance from the DDD mapping point to the location of the CBU need to be measured, or do they take the measurement from the latest dismount distance worksheet? The latest worksheet measurement can be used if there is no dispute. If there is a dispute, the distance should be measured with the wheel. Back to top. 333 Could a route with multiple lock pouches have both a low and high volume? Absolutely, depending on the duties involved at each particular stop. Back to top. 334 Do U-turns at the end of a street that is a T intersection where you retrace affect the interval in drive time? Yes, each U-turn ends and begins a new interval. Back to top. 335 Regarding drive time, were speed limits taken into consideration? A. Yes. The drive speed matrix was developed using an entire year of data from thousands of routes. Back to top. 336 Is riffle time for DPS gone? Time for DPS riffling is included in standard S008, locate and access DPS letter trays. Back to top. 337 How is getting equipment in the morning credited? Is it credited? In some offices, management will have the tubs and trays removed. Carriers are walking around the building in the morning looking for this equipment. If applicable, this would be entered as miscellaneous time during the min-mail survey. Carrot back to top. 338. Waiting on elevators. Is that timed during the mini mail surveys? This time and time for stairs at authorized dismount locations only should be entered at the time of mapping under other time for the dismount location. There is no time allowance for stairs or elevators with normal delivery of parcels or accountable mail to an address that is not an authorized dismount. Carrot back to top. 339. Is there any credit for handling missorted parcels in the office as we were previously given credit for the parcel? If applicable, this would be entered as miscellaneous time during the min-mail survey. Carrot back to top. 340. Carrier's delivery unit is a branch office of a main office. After completion of delivering the route, the carrier is required to go to the main office to drop off large amounts of carrier pickup items and accountables daily and then returns to the delivery unit. How would this time be accounted for? If applicable, this would be entered as miscellaneous time during the mini-mail survey. And the trip to the main office should obviously be included in the line of travel. Carrot back to top. 341. Regarding end-of-shift duties, what happens in these smaller offices where a carrier returns from the route and no clerk is around to sign the clearance form, pay for postage, stamp stock, etc.? According to the PO 603, Section 481, there should be a process in place to clear accountables in the afternoon, even if no clerk or manager is available. If applicable, the additional clearance activities would be completed the following day and entered as miscellaneous time during the mini-mail survey. Carrot back to top. 342. When mail arrives at the carrier case and tubs, is it assumed they have been machined? How can this be confirmed? There will be a label on the tub indicating when the mail was run through the automated sorters. Carrot back to top. 343. When a carrier must wait for a train, is it timed as previously, or does the location of the crossing in the mapping program provide ample average credit that this will not be necessary? If applicable as per the step for settlement, this would be entered as miscellaneous time during the mini-mail survey. Carrot back to top. 344. Do we get credit for upside-down DPS? If so, how? If applicable as per the step for settlement, this would be entered as miscellaneous time during the mini-mail survey. Carrot back to top. 345. Will there be any miscellaneous time for parcels that are presented to carriers on the floor or not in conveyances to carriers? Often carriers spend a lot of time loading large parcels into hampers to transport to vehicle. If applicable, this would be entered as miscellaneous time during the mini-mail survey. However, all parcels should be taken to the carrier case or presented in parcel hampers or tubs. This is the basis for the parcel cart standard. Carrot back to top. 346. I have an Amish route and I pick up a lot of parcels that need postage affixed. The window is usually closed when I get back from the route and the parcels get mailed the next day. So, other than unloading them from my car, I will not get credit. Correct? No. If applicable, this would be completed by the carrier the following day and the actual time entered as miscellaneous time during the mini-mail survey. Carrot back to top. 347. Will the markup bundle standard change daily based on mail received and will it be automatic? The time for markups is automatically calculated each day based on the volume of mail and parcels. Carrot back to top. 348. With PM casing, what is the standard for this event? There is no standard for PM casing. The time is credited based on the number of pieces received in an average week. It does not matter when the pieces are cased. Carrot back to top. 349. Is the driving distance and walking distance to deliver a parcel an average across the whole route or dependent on each delivery address? OR driving and OR walking is calculated daily based on the average driving and walking distances to the addresses actually delivered to the door on that day. Carrot